Yeah. Hello, Winnie. How are you
Hi.
today?
Well, I don't know. I'll know better after you tell me. I heard you met with my boss, Jackie.
I did, and I'd like to go through the feedback. But,
Yeah, what did she say?
I'd like to go through and describe that to you, because one thing that's really important in the process is trying to understand, what's the behavior that they're looking for? Because, you talked about things that worked at the other organization that weren't working here, and that they weren't getting it right. And so what I'd like to do today is share with you some of the things that you're doing well that I ask about, and some of the things that they'd like to see you do differently in order to be more effective in this culture.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right, great. So when I met with Jackie, when I asked, what is that you're doing well, she went into a great amount of detail around your detail orientation. That you were very detail oriented. You had good, logical, rational planning, and you were very structured in your approach. Okay, and
She noticed.
She ever tell that before, or you ever heard that before?
No.
No, that's sort of new to
But
you?
it's
Okay.
interesting that she noticed.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. The second thing she talked about was giving good direction to your direct report. She talked about the 4 people that you reported to, and she seems to believe that you've got good direction to your direct reports.
That's
so
interesting.
Those were 2 notes.
How does she know that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I have a good team.
Yeah, you do.
It's one
Okay.
one of the things I like about this. That the team is really, they're professional, they're solid, they're strong. I think we bonded.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel pretty good about my team members.
Okay.
At first,
Very
I was
good.
worried, because Jeff had applied for my job, and I thought maybe he would undermine me. But so far, it's been okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Now, there's 2 specific things she talked about. Themes around things that would be improvement opportunities for you, and one is what I would describe as the shadow of your strength.
What does that mean?
She talked about you being very structured and detail-oriented, okay? So behind every strength, when overused, can become a liability, okay?
Yeah, but structure's good.
It can be
I think
good.
this company needs more structure. She needs more structure.
Possibly, right? Okay. But currently, as she described it, that this culture is one that's less structured. Okay. So she's looking for a little more flexibility from you, a little bit less structure. Okay. And you may be very comfortable in a very organized and structured fashion. Okay. Specifically, she mentioned the presentation where you had a lot of slides. You had like 57 slides to go through. The agenda got crunched down because they weren't.
Well, that's because of her lack of organization. I mean, she ended up talking too long. The president ended up talking too long. They gave me an hour, and then suddenly they gave me 20 minutes.
And so, be that as it may, you are required to try to deliver all that information in a condensed time, right? Okay. And one of the things that I think Jackie's looking for is, a way for you to flex and adapt in that moment to still get your key messages across when you need to be more adaptable than what you would prefer to be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer that they try to figure out and stay on time with the agenda.
And if they can't?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's something that we can focus on, okay?
Yeah.
And again, this is going to serve you well, regardless of, the current job, future role here, anywhere you might go, okay? Now, the second thing she talked about...
So
I'm sorry?
is that something that you can help me with? I mean, just helping to organize the slides and the order of them and so on?
Yeah, so we can talk about that at another point in terms of how you might
Okay.
do that, okay? Sure, all right. Now, the second thing, also importantly, was she talked about engagement with people. And so,
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I asked her. What does that look like to her? And she talked about reaching out to other people, all the key stakeholders. And she has an expectation that for the level that you're coming in at, okay, that you would be reaching out and initiating these conversations and this dialogue and building relationships and trying to get an understanding of what their needs are and how you can best communicate with them. Okay?
Yeah. I
Have you done
thought
that?
I did. They had this sort of map for me to meet with people, the first 2 days or first week. It's, 15 minutes with each person. Some people had the time for me, some people didn't. And I mean, I'm used to a much more structured assimilation process and onboarding. They don't have an onboarding here. I mean, it's just, that was it. These are the key people, 15 minutes each. Some were available, some were not, and that was it.
And have you had any follow-up discussions with these folks?
No, nobody's called me.
Okay. All right. And I know for an expectation, Jackie's, thinking that you need to continue to initiate these things. So this is where your structure can work to your advantage to plan and organize, key times to meet with these people on a regular basis and be able to build these relationships that I think Jackie's looking for.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the goal was, since I'm in sales, is to go outside. So all my time, I have been going out and meeting customers and spending time with them. The more I spend time on the inside, the less I'll be spending time with the customers.
Yeah. And that may be, right? And one of the things is, the stakeholder group they're really valuable people, and while they're not the customers, they are important for your success, right? To build relationships.
So I'm the new kid of the block. Shouldn't they be reaching out to me? And they go to lunch and they walk right by my office.
Yeah, I can't speak for them, okay, but you can, right? You can take the action, right?
I'll have to think about that.
Okay. Well, this is.
So what about my changing jobs and getting what about the promotion?
Well, we didn't talk about any of that.
Okay. All right.
We didn't talk about any of that.